Wir kommen jetzt zum zweiten Teil dieses Cultural Afternoons, and I'm happy to greet here all these artists from all over the world who are participating in this event, basically in this cultural and artistic event. And I would particularly like to welcome first the ladies here. And to my utter left, you can see Sarita Jenamani. Welcome here. She was born in Odisha in India and studied economics and management studies. And in India and in Austria, she writes in English. She has been, in 2006, awarded the Literary Prize of Kulturverein Inzing, Austria. Congratulations. She has been taking part in various literature festivals, both at home and abroad. Sarita is the General Secretary of Austrian chapter of PEN International, and she lives and works in Vienna. Welcome here. Then I would like to greet the next woman on the floor. Gerda Sengstbratl. She was born in Austria. She grew up studying foreign languages in Salzburg, the United States, and in France. Researcher, a teacher, and publication on gender problems. An author, writer, and painter. She teaches today foreign languages and dreaming at the high school. Several years lecturer at the University of Applied Art. She lives in Klosterneuburg and works in Vienna. Thank you for participating here. Mitra Shahmoradi, which I know well since many, many years. A very active artist, painter, poet, and art educator in Vienna. She was born in Abadan in Iran. She has a diploma for painting from the Decorative Art Academy in Tehran. She attends the Farabi University. She attended, better to say, the Farabi University in Isfahan, a Master of Studies Restoration. She's very regularly known in Vienna and in Austria for exhibiting her art's work in many Western countries and in Asian countries. She's teaching at various institutions, at several Austrian and international events. She reads from her poems in Persian and in German. And thank you very much for being here and welcome. To my right, Tarek Eltayeb, growing up in Egypt, Sudanese origin, long time in Austria and in Vienna. This is perfect German. I talked to him before. His German is definitely much better than my Arabic. He has been here since 1984. He financed his study at the Vienna University of Economics and Business Administration with a lot of jobs. For example, by distributing pamphlets, selling newspapers, watching dishes and teaching Arabic. Maybe we can do a business even now, a little bit later on. He is a philosopher and writer. He received his doctorate in social and economic science in 1997 and is currently a professor of the International Management Center at the University in Krems. Welcome to be here today. Patrick is our translator here. Thank you very much for being here on the panel. And then we have Mr. Winkler, very known to everybody here, I think, a writer of international reputation. He has, starting in 1979 by publishing with Surkamp Verlag. He partly went from 1979 to 82. He went on paternity leave from the University of Klagenfurt, and he has been working as a freelance since then as an author. He has been publishing a lot of novels, with a lot of awards he got, the Alfred Döblin Prize. He got the Austrian State Prize in 2007 and the Georg Büchner Prize of the German Academy for Language and Poetry in Darmstadt in 2008. Mr. Winkler, thank you for being here. Thank you. I do have presented already our musician, and I would like Hamid-Reza, thank you very much for your music. Very impressive what you are doing with such a small instrument, and also few people understand what you were saying. It sounded extremely poetic, like everything which is in Persian. Thank you so much. Mark Klenk is also here. He was born in Minnesota in the United States. After moving to Austria in the 90s, he pursued writing and visual arts in various forms. He is specializing in short stories, poetry, and graphic arts, and is published in several European magazines. He's an editor and contributor of Pen Club Austria. Thank you very much for participating. I'll ask each of the artists to present some of their poems. Mitra, I don't know where we should start.
Gerda.
Maybe with Gerda. Thank you very much.
Hammelfest. Das Zimmer, in dem Jerome wohnte, als ich ihn kennenlernte, war hinter einem Durchhaus in der Dielgasse. Dealer müssen in der Dielgasse wohnen, sagte Jerome. Es war zu der Zeit, als jeder dunkelhäutige Mensch in Wien als Drogenhändler verdächtigt wurde. Man trat vom Stiegenhaus in die Küche mit versperrbaren Oberschränken. Links sah man Toilettenkabinen, jemand duschte. Rechts sah man in einem Gang mit mehreren Türen. Am Ende des Gangs befand sich Jeromes Zimmer. Bett, in die Decke montierte Büroleuchten, ein Stuhl, ein kleiner Tisch, Kühlschrank, ein Fernsehgerät, eine Kommode, ein Kleiderschrank, der ein Drittel vom Fenster verstellte, Vorhänge, offen, weiße Wände. Ein Zimmer kostete 350 €. Bei 4 Personen macht das im Monat 1400 €. Die Vorhänge hatten keine Farbe, die Bettdecke war über das 1,40 Meter Bett geschlagen, sie hatte keine Farbe. Der Boden war Laminat, die Tür hatte ein Schloss, eher eines von einer Eingangstür. Es gab keinen Vorraum, die Wohnung war parterre. Man sah auf dem betonierten Hof mit den Abfalltonnen Schritte halten, manchmal das Echo von Stimmen. Es gab ein Nachtkästchen neben dem Fernseher und einen Wasserkocher. In der Küche Männerstimmen, französische Worte gemischt mit Satzfetzen in einer mir unbekannten Sprache. Dann fiel eine Tür ins Schloss, Jerome war etwas holen gegangen. Eid el-Kabir, the Great Feast. The room Jerome was living in when I first met him was behind a courtyard in Dielgasse. Drug dealers have to live in Dielgasse, said Jerome. It was during the time when every dark-skinned person in Vienna was suspected of being a drug dealer. From the hallway, you stepped right into the kitchen. Every kitchen cupboard had a lock. On the left, you could see a row of shower and toilet cubicles. Someone was taking a shower. On the right, a long corridor with several doors. At the end of the hallway was Jerome's room. Bed, ceiling lights, a chair, a small table, a refrigerator, a TV, a chest of drawers, a wardrobe that was blocking much of the window, curtains, open, white walls. One room was 350 euros with 4 tenants. The owner made 1,400 euros a month. The curtains had no color. The blanket was spread across the 140-meter wide bed. It had no color. The floor was laminate. The door had a lock, making it more like an entrance door. The flat had no hallway. The apartment was on the ground floor. You could see the concrete yard with the rubbish bins. Footsteps echoed, sometimes the echo of voices. There was a bedside table next to the TV and a kettle. In the kitchen, male voices, French words, mixed with fragments of sentences in a language unknown to me. Then a door slammed. Jerome had gone to get something. Ich ging in die Küche. Fofana stand am Gasherd, auf dem Herd blubberte und schäumte es in einem großen Topf und über dem Wasserdampf ragten Augen, Ohren und die Stirn eines Hammels heraus. Weißgraue, nasse Locken im Schaum. Ob die Augen offen oder geschlossen waren, erinnere ich mich nicht mehr. Fofana drehte sich zu mir. Für Tabaski, sagte er. Hammelfest. Der Hammel stank ein wenig. Ich nahm auf einem Sessel Platz. Fofana hantierte mit anderen Töpfen. Ich erinnere mich nur mehr an den Hammel und das Feuer. Nach einiger Zeit, ich war wieder in Jeroms Zimmer, stank es plötzlich nach verbranntem Haar. Ich ging dem Gestank nach und fand Fofana mit dem Hammelkopf in den Händen über dem Feuer des Gasherds, wie er das Fell abbrannte. Stellenweise war der Hammel verkohlt, das Küchenfenster stand offen, in der Küche war Rauch und lautes Geschrei war vom Hof zu hören. Dann Sturmläuten, der Hausmeister schimpfend, dahinter eine kreischende Frau. Ich stellte mich dazwischen. Ja, er hört schon auf, Hammelfest. Das ist so. Nein, keine Gefahr. Der kennt sich schon aus. Tür zu. I went into the kitchen. Fofana, one of Jerome's housemates, was standing in front of the gas cooker. In a large pot above the flame, the eyes, ears, and forehead of a sheep were bubbling in the steam. White-grey wet curls in the foam. I don't remember whether the eyes of the animal were open or closed. Fofana turned towards me. For Tabaski, he said, the Muslim feast of Eid. The mutton smelled a little. I sat down on the chair. Fofana was getting busy with the saucepans. I only remember the mutton and the fire. After a while, I had returned to Jerome's room. There was suddenly a smell of burning hair. I followed the stench and found Fofana with the sheep's head in his hands, turning it over the flame of the gas cooker as he was burning off its fur. Patches of the sheep's head were charred. The kitchen window was open. There was smoke in the kitchen and loud shouting from the courtyard. Then someone was ferociously ringing the front doorbell. The caretaker grumbling and scolding. Behind him, a screeching woman. I stepped into the space between him and Fofana. Yes, he's stopping. Eid, Hammelfest, the feast. That's the way it has to be. No danger. He knows what he's doing. Door closes. Fofana begann mit der nächsten Phase. Ich weiß nicht mehr, was genau er nach dem Absenken gemacht hat. Ich war wieder im Zimmer. Es läutete Sturm und hämmerte an der Tür. Der Hausmeister hatte die Tür von außen aufgesperrt. 4 Feuerwehrmänner stürmten die Wohnung. Wo ist der Brand? Die Löschgeräte einsatzbereit wie Waffen, trampelten sie durch die Küche in den Gang und fanden kein Feuer. Wo, mein lieber Mann? Einer zu Fofana. Nix scharf abfackeln, sonst Polizei und so fort. In diesem Moment war ich in Afrika, in einem Hof. Aus Lehm und Erde, über offenen Feuern wurde gekocht. Rauch stieg auf, morgens, mittags, abends. Feuer war Alltag und natürlich musste das Schaffell versenkt werden, damit das Fleisch weiterverarbeitet werden konnte. Ich roch den Rauch. In diesem Moment sah ich Fofanas erdiges Wesen ganz eins mit Feuer, Wasser und Luft, mit Erde und mit Mineral, mit Ahninnen und Ahnen, mit dem Nähren und der Fürsorge, mit Handlungsablaufen, die alle auf eines hinauslaufen, auf ein gemeinsames Essen mit Fingern zur Feier, zum Ende des Ramadan, und wir würden mit ihm das Fleisch aus einer Schüssel essen. Jerome feiert alle Feste mit egal welcher Glaubensrichtung, so wie alle rund um mich und ihn herum. Fofana started the next phase. I can't remember what exactly he was doing after singing of the sheep's fur. I was back in Jerome's room. There was banging on the door and violent ringing of the doorbell. The caretaker unlocked the door from the outside. 4 firemen were storming the apartment. Where's the fire? The fire extinguishers at the ready like weapons. They trampled through the kitchen into the corridor without finding any fire. Where, my good man, one of them addressing Fofana. No burning of sheep, otherwise police and so forth. That was the moment I felt I was in Mali, in Senegal, in Burkina Faso, in Benin, in Togo, in Ghana, in West Africa, in a red mud courtyard, a compound, earth, clay, cooking over an open fire. Smoke was rising in the morning, at noon, in the evening. Fire was part of everyday life, and of course, the fleece of the sheepskin had to be burned off so that the meat could be processed further. I smelled the smoke. It was at that moment that I saw Fofana's earthy nature, being one with fire, wood and air, with earth and mineral, with ancestors, with nurturing, with caring, with processes all leading to one thing, to the shared meal, eaten with fingers, to the feast, the celebration at the end of Ramadan, and we would eat meat with him from the same bowl. Jerome takes part in all celebrations, no matter which religions believe, as does everyone around me and him. Die Energie der Feuerwehrmänner war verpufft, alles an ihnen hing schlaff herunter, sie verließen die Küche. In der halb offenen Tür hörte man noch die empörten Nachbarinnen mit dem Hausmeister. Für sie waren die Menschen in dieser Wohnung die Wilden. Die den Viechern im Hinterhof die Gurgel durchschnitten. Und dann wurde es wieder still. Fofana stand nach dem Schock wieder beim Fleisch. Es stank noch ein wenig angesenkt, vermischt mit Suppe. Jerome schloss die Tür auf. The firemen's energy had dissolved. Everything about them was hanging limp. They left the kitchen. Through the half-open door you could still hear indignant neighbors with the caretakers. For them, the people in this apartment were savages, cutting the throats of beasts in backyards. Then he turned silent once more. After the shock, Fofana was back cooking the meat. It smelled a little scorched, mixed with soup. Jerome was unlocking the entrance door. Sein jetziges Zimmer, mehr als ein Jahrzehnt später, ist eingerichtet mit Mobiliar, das meine Mutter in den 1990er Jahren für die Dachgeschosswohnung anfertigen ließ und das die Frau, die in der Wohnung einzog, nicht haben wollte. Kirschholzfarbenes 1,80er-Bett mit geschwungenem Haupt und passendem Nachtkästchen, dazugehörigen Schrank, Ladenkasten und Kommode mit Flachbildschirm, ein Regal mit 30 Paar Schuhen, plus einem schwarzen 4 Meter Glas-Schiebetürenschrank wie ein Porsche. Innen hängen 10 Anzüge in Schutzhüllen, 54 Hemden, kurz und langer, 31 Gürtel, 7 Jacken, Sommer und Winter, Kappen, 29 Hosen und sicher 20 Taschen zum Umhängen und Rucksäcke. Ein Oxford-Fauteuil aus Leder, Fischgräb-Parkettboden, dottergelb, silberfarbene Vorhänge, ein umgebauter Kristallluster, eine pinkfarbene Sandtagesdecke. Sein Bett ist immer gemacht und an den Wänden 3 moderne Gemälde, Geschenke für ihn und mich. Jerome's current room, more than a decade later, is furnished with the pieces that my mother had made for the attic apartment in the 1990s and that the woman who was renting the apartment did not want. Everything the color of cherry wood. A 180-meter wide bed with a girthed headboard and matching bedside tables, a chest of drawers, a wardrobe, a flat-screen TV, shelves with 30 pairs of shoes, plus a black 4-meter-long glass-fronted wardrobe with sliding doors like a Porsche. Inside there are 10 suits in protective covers, 54 shirts, short and long sleeves, 31 belts, 7 jackets, summer and winter caps, 29 trousers and 20 bags and backpacks, an Oxford leather armchair, herringbone parquet flooring, yoke, yellow silver colored curtains, modified crystal chandeliers, a pink velvet bedspread. His bed is always made, and on the walls there are 3 modern paintings, gifts for him and me. Jeden Donnerstag zündet Jerome ein Teelicht für seinen verstorbenen Vater, der an einem Donnerstag gestorben ist und mit dem er sein Leben lang so gestritten hat und dem er alles vorwirft, was man einem Vater vorwerfen kann. Und dem er manchmal als ein kleines bisschen verzeiht, bevor er sich wieder an dessen Gemeinheiten und Brutalität erinnert. Auf einem der Nachtkästchen neben einem kleinen Foto meiner Eltern, die sich darauf lieb anschauen, was sie weder vorher noch nachher jemals in meiner Anwesenheit taten. Das Foto von Jeromes Großvater mit grimmigem Blick, so als würde er mich gleich fressen, in einem riesen Kleid, bauschig wie Papier. Er war König mit 400 Ehefrauen. Deshalb bin ich Prinzessin. Das wollte ich immer werden. Every Thursday, Jerome lights a candle for his father who died on a Thursday and with whom he argued all his life, and whom he blames for everything that a father can be blamed for, and whom he sometimes forgives a little before he remembers again his meanness and brutality. On one of the bedside tables next to a small photo of my parents looking at one another with loving eyes, something they never did before or after in my presence. The photo of Jerome's grandfather with a grim look on his face in a giant dress puffed up like paper, as if he was about to devour me. He was a king with 400 wives. That's why I am a princess. That's what I've always wanted to be.
Thank you so much. Sarita would be the next one.
No, sorry. Now come there.
Okay.
Sorry. Come. Sorry.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to read my text also in English, but my English is really not good enough. Why? Now my first foreign language is German, and it pushed my English into the 7th place, but in between is nothing. So my English is really poor. I'm very happy to have Patrick today to read my text in his mother tongue. Thank you very much. And he will begin to read in English, and I read after him in Arabic.
Black. I crossed the river, and when I reached the other side, I was black. I called out to my companion on the shore, "The water is wonderful, come." Yet my color frightened him, and he did not say a word. I told him to cross the river. He murmured something, and the wind just carried fragments of his words. I called out to him to come nearer, but my companion was afraid of my color and did not listen to me any longer, forgetting our past. Every year I go down to the river, call out to him among all those people. I'm on the point of returning to him, but I'm afraid of losing my true color and my senses.
أسود. عبرت النهر وحين وصلت للضفة الأخرى كنت أسود. قلت لرفيقي على الضفة الماء رائع اسبح، خاف من لوني صمت. صحت فيه أن يعبر، كان يهذي والريح تنقل نصف الكلام، وكنت أصيح له أن يقترب. خاف رفيقي من لوني حتى لم يعد يسمعني ونسي تاريخنا القديم. كل عام أذهب إلى الضفة وأنادي وسط الخلق، أكاد في لحظة ضعف أن أعود إليه، لكني أخشى أن أفقد أصل لوني وأفقد بقية حواسي.
The bull. A bull does not go down because the time of sacrifice has come, does not go down at the sight of the sharp knife in the temple, the spears in the arena, the threatening shine of the blades, does not give in to the mercilessness, the festivities, the din, the rattle of the just slaughtered, last night's lunar eclipse, the bloodthirsty dogs, does not give into, not give into. A bull goes down because it forgot that the gods, after having been adored, are slaughtered in the end and then devoured.
الثور. لم يخر الثور من حد سكين المعبد موعد تصعيد القربان، ولا من رشق رماح في الساحة، ولا من لمعة نصل التهديد، ولا من نزق وعيد وضجيج، ولا من حشرجة المذبوحين، ولا من خسوف قمر قبل ليلة موعد تنزيل الغفران، ولا من مساعير كلاب، ولا من خر الثور لأنه نسي أن الآلهة في آخرة العبادة تذبح ثم تؤكل.
Coffee and water. 100 times a day he says, I'll have to return. Here there is no mercy. There is kindness and warmth. And then he falls silent. I ask him, there? Where is that? He points somewhere, his face is expressionless, and he does not say anything anymore. I take his hand, we go to a cafe, and sit down at a quiet corner table. I order coffee for him and water for me. I speak to him in Arabic and mix water into the coffee. He is annoyed. Are you crazy? He tries to remove the water from the coffee. He tries to get the water back into the water.
قهوة وماء. يردد 100 مرة في اليوم يجب أن أعود لا صلاح هنا في المكان هناك الخير والمحبة ويسكت. أسأله أين هذه الهناك يشير بيده في أي اتجاه وتضيع من وجهه الملامح يصمت. أمسك بيده ونجلس في المقهى على مائدة في زاوية هادئة أطلب له قهوة ولي ماء. أحدثه بالعربية وأخلط القهوة بماء ينزعج. هل جننت؟ يحاول أن يعيد الماء من القهوة. يحاول أن يعيد الماء إلى الماء.
Caught in his shadow, or walking in a shadow. I walk behind him, caught in his shadow. I do not try to escape as he would like me to. I do not see who comes the other way and greets us. Furtively, I step out from the carpet of his shadow. The sun burns me, and I resume my place. But now I have seen what he has hidden, what he, walking along with me, has not mentioned, despite his many words. He has prevented me from recognizing my son. I rebel against the coldness of his shadow, against the darkness. I step out into the sun. I stay there until he disappears with his shadow. I walk alone with my shadow, a loose shawl in front of me. I throw it across my shoulders, afraid a passerby might step on it and get caught on it. I turn into a street that is wide and open. Here nobody walks behind somebody else. Joseph's traces. They pass colored threads through the eyes of thousands of needles for a shirt washed with many sighs. And he has no idea about it. Slipping on all these fingers, he feels the stitches stripping him to the skin. He remains patient for a while until the horses have passed. He takes off the shirt, reading Joseph's traces on his chest. He gets frightened, realizing that his father is dead, and his back naked in a twofold way. He closes his eyes, sharpening his hearing for the distant howls, coming nearer and nearer. Hastily, he writes into the sand, closing his eyes and his ears. Poverty's terror. They gave him a hoe, planting him among African women farmers, portraying him as if he were a harvest deity. He smiled, having no idea what a palm tree was. He held a child in rags in his arms and wanted to take its picture. not knowing anything about the child's situation. He seemed to be kind to the poor, like some compassionate, merciful God. He was taken from one poverty to the next, being content with this game that finally took him back north into the pleasant, where the difference was cruel, where the poverty that had not yet arrived would be much more cruel. My lot in the days of the Lord. I divide the days of the Lord into sunlit and sunless. I found joy in the first of these, delight and peace of mind. Yet the sun has been gone for months, and I have no veil to delude me, no memory of rights to inspire me, nor even the remnants of a dream to take my mind off this. My days without a shadow persist and persist until I'm worn out by my lot, by my division of the days of the Lord. Now I divide the days of the Lord into ordinary and others that are also ordinary. With time I grow used to being the same in the one and the other.
قسمتي في أيام الرب. أقسم أيام الرب إلى شمسية ولا شمسية. أكون مرحا منشرحا مرتاحا في الأولى، لكني منذ شهور في الأخرى ولا قناعة يسعفني بوهم ولا ذاكرة بتقليد تلهمني أو حتى بالحلم تلهيني. أيام لا ظل لي فيها تتكرر حتى أزهق من قسمتي بين أيام الرب. الآن أقسم أيام الرب إلى عادية وأخرى عادية. أعود نفسي مع الوقت أن أكون في الأخرى مثل الأولى. Thank you. شكرا. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Sarita Jenamani, please.
First of all, thank you very much for the invitation, and it's a pleasure to be here. As you introduced me, I'm basically a poet of Indian origin. I write in my mother tongue, Oriya, and Hindi and English. That means with the immigration, you just walk through different languages and cultures. And so I have told that I am going to read that in English and in my mother tongue. That is one of the classical language of India and one of the regional language. In India we have 5 classical languages, and in Oriya is one of them. What I will do, I will start with my mother tongue just to give you the mood and the melody of the language, and then I'll move on to read my poems in English. So I think that's all right.
Perfect.
ଇଷ୍ଟବର୍ଣ୍ଣର ସୈନିକ। ମୁଁ ହୋଟେଲ ଝରକାର ମୁହଁ ଗଳେଇ ଚାହିଁଲି ନିର୍ମମ ବର୍ଷା ମାଡ଼ରେ ଭିଜା ଇଂଲଣ୍ଡର ସୁନ୍ଦର ରାସ୍ତାଟିକୁ। ଖୁବ୍ ସୁନ୍ଦର ଉପକୂଳ ଦୃଶ୍ୟ, ଯେମିତିକି ମିଳେଇ ଯାଇଥାଏ ସମୁଦ୍ରରେ। ବାସଭବନ, ଅଟ୍ଟାଳିକା ସବୁ ଛିଡ଼ା ହୋଇଥାନ୍ତି ନୀରବରେ, ସତେ ଯେମିତି ସେମାନେ କୌଣସି ଘର ବାହୁଡ଼ା ଅଦୃଶ୍ୟ ନାବିକ ପାଇଁ ଅପେକ୍ଷାରତ। ଆଉ ତା ଉପରେ ରାସ୍ତାର ମଝିଆମଝି ସିଧା ଛିଡ଼ା ହୋଇଥିବା ଏ ସୈନିକ ମୂର୍ତ୍ତି, ସେ ଚାହିଁ ରହିଥାଏ ମୋତେ। ସିପାହୀ ବିଦ୍ରୋହର ଶହୀଦ ବୋଲି ଲେଖାଯାଇଥାଏ ଖୁବ୍ ଗର୍ବରେ ତା ପାଦ ତଳେ। ତୁମ ଶହୀଦ ଆମର ହତ୍ୟାକାରୀ, ମୁଁ ଭାବିଥିଲି। ଆଉ ଆମ ଶହୀଦ ବି ହେଇଥିବା ଆଉ କାହାର ହତ୍ୟାକାରୀ? ଅବିରତ ବର୍ଷା ହୋଇ ଚାଲିଥାଏ। ବିତି ଯାଉଥିବା ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତର ମୁହଁରେ କୌଣସି ଅନାମଧେୟ ସୈନିକର ଲୁହ ପରି, ଯିଏ କେବେ ହେଲେ ଘରକୁ ଫେରେ ନା। କିଏ ନିର୍ଦ୍ଧାରିତ କରିବ କିଏ ଶହୀଦ ଆଉ କିଏ ହତ୍ୟାକାରୀ? କିଏ କହିପାରିବ ଏ ବର୍ଷା ଧାର ଏହି ଔପନିବେଶିକ ଧୂଳିକୁ ଧୋଇପାରିବ କି ନାହିଁ? Soldier of Eastbourne, a small town in south of England. I peep out of my hotel room into an English street, battered by ruthless rain. Wonderful coastal landscape penetrates into the sea. Mansions, cottages stand silently as if waiting for some invisible homecoming sailors. And then this statue of a soldier in the middle of the street, standing upright and looking directly at me, a martyr of Sepoy mutiny. They mention proudly, "Your martyr is our murderer." Sepoy mutiny is the first freedom war against the Britishers. Your martyr is our murderer, but maybe our martyr or someone else's murderer. It rains incessantly into the mouth of this passing moment, like the tear for a soldier who never returned home. Who will determine who is a martyr and what makes a murderer? Who can say if the slanting rain ever settled the post-colonial dust?
Closer to the microphone.
Okay. This is a poem that I have written yesterday. I don't know, just for the discussion we had during the dinner. Between earth and sky. No, we didn't go into the woods to get intoxicated with that green velvety touch of trees. No, we didn't go into the woods to get intoxicated with the green velvety touch of trees, neither to meditate in their gentle shadows. We went into the woods in search of our imaginary enemies. We plunged into the open mouth of the remaining stump of an unknown date tree, a trench covered with years of snow, sun, little jewels of bark sheets, rest of maggot-eaten corpses, and wood rotting into rotten wood. From the long dead roots, sap flown and mourned the valiant men who died in this rancid landscape, surrounded by the monomaniacal lullaby of insects. This must be our destiny, to plunge into the filthy pages of recurrent history again and again, to stand side by side with our imaginary enemy. A barbaric cow of war order perpetually engulfs our dying heart. Nothing smells worse than half-life that opened a fissure between earth and sky. This is a poem written on the eve of India's 70th Independence Day. We got our independence from the British, but during that time, India is divided into India and Pakistan, killing 500,000 of people during the Hindu-Muslim riot. 70 years later, August is the cruelest month. August is the cruelest month. It drags us to a butchery plastered with mirrors. It drags us to a butchery plastered with mirrors of ancestral rage. August forces us to unfurl a blood-stained flag, our hands heavy with history, our hearts numb with memory. 70 years later, August doesn't let us forget those maimed and mangled bodies, uprooted and cleaved from life by a vertiginous fury. August is a month of monsoon, and monsoon brings a maze of hope. Eternal cities. Beyond the pages of history, in the time-worn shoe soles, we find them. Their fire-branded outlines run through our arteries like morning mantras. Ghostly city limit blurred into the dark truths of our soul that affectionately opens its cloak to shield us from the dazzling daylight, that wipe out our footprints made up of dewdrops. Through its labyrinthine lanes, dung hills, rows of brick houses, church bells, shimmering masks of gods, or desperate voice of muezzin. Cities pour down on our drenched being like bestowed childhood. Cities do not exist in any predestined place on earth in sepia color. They exist inside us, exactly there, where a green shoot just dried up, where the sky become barren, and the sacred river turns to desert. Being bemused. I'm scared of losing them that are meant to be lost, and gather them in my grasp. What was the color of the trees which were chopped off while paving the way to your castle of solitude? Do not blame the world that stands just adjacent to you. It is you who refuse to come out of your own labyrinth. Beyond the border, between departure and arrival, time dozes somewhere beneath the piles of the books, and intensely uneasy feeling of forgetting something accompanies us as the rain rolls towards the border. Having a certain premonition, we look out of the window to bid goodbye to them who perhaps exist nowhere. We no longer walk through the doors. We no longer run through the streets. We just wait impatiently to cross the border and try to escape the sight of an empty platform under brooding clouds, a reflection of our heart. Nothing thaws at borders. Only a certain coldness envelops those who cross it, leaving their whole world behind. How lovely it would be if we had a home beyond every border, as return is only a journey and we never return to the same place again. Save the words. Now it is too late. Now it is too late to save our words. They are lying scattered in this blood-stained history like mutilated body parts after a sudden explosion by a suicide bomber. Now it's too late to save our words. They are lying scattered in this blood-stained history like mutilated body parts after a sudden explosion by a suicide bomber. We hurl words in the air, drenched in desperation and hope, and collect them to build a bridge, as it is never late, and it ought never to be too late to save the words. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Winkler, Herr Winkler. Ich glaube, wir werden den Text jetzt nur auf Deutsch hören. Machen wir eine Übersetzung oder?
Es ist die Übersetzung im Heft, also zum Lesen.
Genau, wer lesen kann, soll.
Ja, das war der Wunsch von mir.
Guten Abend. Ich lese aus einem Roman, der genau vor 30 Jahren erschienen ist. Ich war damals mehrere Jahre in Rom und habe diesen Roman geschrieben. Er trägt den Titel Friedhof der bitteren Orangen. Also es ist kein Roman über Rom, sondern über mich in Rom. Also ich über mich in Rom. Was suchen die beiden Männer, die jeden Tag, als wüssten sie, wann ich die Wohnung verlasse, auf der Via Barnaba Tortolini in Rom stehen und grinsen, wenn ich vorbeigehe? Ich grüße sie nicht, ich werde diese beiden immerzu dastehenden und auf ein schreckliches Ereignis wartenden Männer niemals grüßen. Vor der Fleischhauerei in der Via San Valentino ging eine Frau mit einem Kinderwagen im Kreis. Ich kann mich, während ich jetzt an der Schreibmaschine sitze, nicht mehr genau an das Gesicht des Kindes erinnern. Ich weiß auch nicht mehr, ob das Kind einen bunten oder einfarbigen kleinen Plastikball in den Händen hielt und im Kreis drehte, wie seine Mutter mit dem Kinderwagen, in dem das Kind lag, vor dem Fleischwarengeschäft im Kreis ging. Aber gerade deshalb, weil die Frau mit einem Kinderwagen, in dem eine Frühgeburt lag, vor einem Fleischgeschäft im Kreis ging, ist sie mir aufgefallen. Wenn sie in einem Park, meinetwegen in der Villa Glori oder in der Villa Borghese, mit dem Kinderwagen, in dem ein Kind lag, das einen mehr- oder einfarbigen Plastikball im Kreis drehte, im Kreis gegangen wäre, so wäre sie mir wahrscheinlich nicht aufgefallen, aber die Tatsache, dass sie mit dem Kinderwagen, in dem eine Frühgeburt lag, vor dem Fleischhauer, der ein blutiges Hackbeil in den Händen hielt, im Kreis gegangen ist, machte mich auf sie aufmerksam und erregte mich. Aber ich kann mich jetzt, 20 Stunden nach diesem Ereignis, nicht mehr an das Gesicht des Kindes erinnern, auch nicht daran, ob der Ball weiß oder bunt war, den es im Kreis drehte, als seine Mutter mit dem Kinderwagen, in dem eine Frühgeburt lag, vor der Fleischhauerei im Kreis ging. Mir war nur aufgefallen, dass die Frau, die mit dem Kinderwagen, in dem ein Kind einen weißen oder farbigen Ball im Kreis drehte, vor der Fleischhauerei immer wieder im Kreis ging, blutunterlaufene Augen hatte und immerzu auf den jungen, braungebrannten, die Kunden immerzu freundlich angrinsenden Metzger mit dem vollen schwarzen Haar starrte, der freundlich nickte, als ich meinen Wunsch äußerte, der aber weiterhin an einem anderen Fleischbatzen herumstocherte, sodass ich ihn, wenn schon nicht auffordernd, so doch fragend ansah, während die Frau mit den blutunterlaufenen Augen vor der Metzgerei, mit dem Kinderwagen, in dem eine Frühgeburt lag, die einen weißen oder farbigen Ball im Kreis drehte, immer wieder den jungen, braungebrannten Metzger anstarrend im Kreis ging. Der Fleischhauer nickte wieder und gab mir zu verstehen, dass er mich sofort bedienen werde. Er trug ein großes Stück Fleisch, das mit dem violetten Stempel des Fleischbeschauers versehen war, aus der Kühlkammer und warf es aufs Schneidebrett. Nachdem er mir neuerlich zugenickt hatte, grinste ich ihn verlogen an, aber, und das machte mir augenblicklich Angst, er grinste nicht mehr freundlich und verlogen zurück, sondern verzog keine Miene, während draußen vor dem Tor seines Fleischerladens die Frau mit den blutunterlaufenen Augen mit ihrem Kinderwagen, in dem einen weißen oder farbigen Ball im Kreis drehende Frühgeburt lag, immer wieder im Kreis ging und auf den braungebrannten jungen Metzger starrte, der jetzt 2 dünne Kalbfilets vom Ganzen schnitt und ich, bereits vor Angst zitternd, einen Schritt zurücktrat und meine Hände an meinen Brustkorb drückte, denn ich hatte das Gefühl, als ob der Metzger vor der Frau mit den blutunterlaufenen Augen, die vor seiner Metzgerei mit dem Kinderwagen im Kreis ging und von ihm angestarrt wurde, ein Stück Fleisch von meinem Körper schneiden und mir zu essen reichen wollte. Ich wusste, dass man das eigene Menschenfleisch nicht essen kann, dass man es wieder erbrechen würde, wenn es angeblich auch möglich war, fremdes Menschenfleisch, vielleicht sogar das Fleisch seines eigenen Bruders oder seiner eigenen Schwester zu essen. Aus der Fleischhauerei und an der Frau vorbeigehend, die vor dem Metzgerladen mit blutunterlaufenen Augen und einem Kinderwagen, in dem eine Frühgeburt lag, immer wieder im Kreis ging und den braungebrannten jungen Fleischhauer anstarrte, überlegte ich mir, ob ich dem Fleischhauer das Fleisch zurückbringen und ein anderes, vielleicht Truthahnfleisch oder Rindfleisch verlangen sollte, denn das Truthahnfleisch erinnert mich nicht an meine Kindheit, weil wir auf unserem Bauernhof keine Truthähne hatten, wenn auch der Nachbar eine Zeit lang Truthähne hielt, vor denen ich immer ausgewichen und davongelaufen bin, sobald sie auf mich aufmerksam wurden. Aber ich musste bei der Schlachtung der Kälber mithelfen und zog gerade erst in letzter Zeit beim Vater Ackermann am allerfrühesten Morgen wie zu später Nacht nicht weniger als 20 Kälber zur Welt. Ich lehnte mich eine Zeit lang an die Gartenmauer eines der Fleischhauerei gegenüberstehenden Hauses und starrte durch die Glasscheibe hindurch auf den braun gebrannten und immerzu Kunden anlächelnden, diesen Augenblick aber messerwetzenden und trotzdem Kunden anlächelnden, schwarzhaarigen Macelaio, der mit einer Vielzahl verschiedener Messer ähnlich elegant umzugehen weiß, wie ein Priester mit Kelch, Monstranz und weißer, nach frischem Korn riechenden Mehloblate, auf der in der Art eines Wasserzeichens die Fingerabdrücke des regierenden Papstes eingeprägt sind, auf dem geheiligten Altar unter dem halbnackt auf einem Kreuz aufgebahrten und uns immer noch anleidenden Herrn von Nazareth. Während ich mich immer wieder nach der mit dem Kinderwagen immer wieder vor der Fleischhauerei im Kreis fahrenden Frau mit den blutunterlaufenen Augen umsehend, die via San Valentino hinauf zum Lago Belgrado ging, fielen Regentropfen aufs Papier und sickerten tatsächlich bis zum roten Kalbfleisch durch. 4 Männer, die grüne Mäntel trugen, schnitten am Lago Belgrado mit großen Gartenscheren die Stängel der Chrysanthemen und bespritzten mit einem Gartenschlauch die aufgestellten Schnittblumen, als aus der gegenüberliegenden Apotheke eine dunkelhäutige Frau mit buntem Kopftuch und rosaroten Schuhen die Via San Valentino hinunter auf die Frau mit den blutunterlaufenen Augen zulief, die mit einem Kinderwagen, in dem eine Frühgeburt lag, die einen weißen oder farbigen Ball in seinen Händen im Kreis drehte, vor der Fleischhauerei im Kreis ging und immerzu auf den die Kunden anlächelnden und braun gebrannten, schwarzhaarigen jungen Macelaio blickte. Die Frau mit dem bunten Kopftuch und den rosaroten Schuhen gab der Frau mit den blutunterlaufenen Augen ein Paket, in dem mehrere Medizinschachteln eingewickelt und mit einem roten Gummiring zusammengehalten lagen. In der San Valentino Bar legte ich das Kalbfleisch neben eine Zuckerschale, bestellte einen Cappuccino, verdrehte meinen Kopf und sah an einer Stellage zwischen schottischen Whiskyflaschen in einem Spiegel mein auf dem Kopf stehendes Gesicht. Danke schön.
Vielen Dank. Mitra, bitte.
Okay. First, I want to thank the conference organizer for everything, but also for allowing me to plan this panel. And thanks my colleague, my great colleague and great Antonia. I want to I write my poems in German. My native language is Farsi in Persian, but mostly I write in German. And my colleague Mark Klenk translated them from German to English, and I translated from German to Farsi. Mark Klenk is an American writer, and he will now read my poems in English, and I read them in Farsi, in Persian, and in German.
I build a home with colors. I build an identity with letters. I build a city with earth, water, air, and fire, decorated with a myriad of languages, cultures, and beliefs, embraced by the rainbow, with a familiar identity, and a divine fragrance.
Ich baue. Ich baue mit Farben eine Heimat. Ich baue mit Buchstaben eine Identität. Ich baue mit Erde, Wasser, Luft und Feuer eine Stadt. Geschmückt mit zahllosen Sprachen, Kulturen und Glauben, umarmt vom Regenbogen, mit vertrauter Identität und göttlichem Duft. بنا می کنم، با رنگ ها وطنی می سازم، با حروف هویتی، با خاک، آب، آتش و باد شهری بنا می کنم، مزین به گویش ها، فرهنگ ها و کیش های بیشمار در آغوش رنگین کمان، با هویتی آشنا و عطر خدا.
Irritated bird. He does not understand why he must veil his colorful feathers, why he may not sing anymore with his heavenly voice, why his joyous dance is forbidden. The bird is confused and asks his tree, what happened? Tree says nothing. Bird is irritated and asks again. The tree answers, you are very colorful. You sing beautifully. You dance free. However, your wonderful nature terrifies me. Conceal your beauty. Hide your happiness. Do not disturb my peace. The bird with a saddened voice, but I want to bring you joy with my cheerfulness, to fashion your life with my beauty, to bring life to your calm standing with my movement. Don't fear my cheerfulness. The tree responded, you frighten me. I cannot control that. I also want to laugh, sing, dance. I am afraid to tear out my old roots, no longer able to stand and to go away from my familiar ground. The whole forest is uneasy. We want to stay strong. You should not weaken us. You should become invisible. The bird is sad. He wants to answer the tree, to reassure them that she is not a danger, that her joy in life is not a threat for the tree, for the forest. The bird thinks, I am built to be colorful and lively. How can the tree challenge the creator? He is speechless. But he comprehended more and more why he should not be colorful and lively, why he should not sing. He sings with a muffled voice. He sings humbled. He flies with tears in his eyes. He flies higher and higher until his tree and the forest can no longer be seen. He waters the flowers. The sky is gray and also red. It's loud. It's hot. It's sad. It's confused. It's empty. It's war. Everything burns. All are gone. The mother calls. Come, we must seek shelter. He stands in the garden and looks at the flowers. He is calm. He is thoughtful. And he waters the flowers. I have to water the nasturtium. Otherwise they won't survive, he answers calmly. Maybe we won't survive ourselves, said the mother, worried. Go, I'll come after the flowers are watered, he says in a gentle voice.
آبیاری لادنها. آسمان خاکستری است و سرخ. پرهیاهوست، داغ است، غمناک است و حیران. شهر خالی از زندگی، جنگ است. همه چیز می سوزد، همه رفتند. مادر با نگرانی بیا باید پناهگاهی پیدا کنیم. او در باغچه ایستاده آرام و متفکر گلها را می نگرد. باید گلها را آب دهم پیش از آن که خشک شوند. مادر با آشفتگی می گوید شاید خود نیز زنده نمانیم. و او به نرمی پاسخ می دهد پس از آبیاری لادنها می آیم.
لیلا لا 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 لا. A lonely door. The door feels lonely. It doesn't know how to have fun. How can it have a different life? It's afraid it'll get struck down again and again and again. Why must I tolerate other people's anger? Why am I responsible for separating things and people to keep them in captivity? I do not like my role. I do not want to keep hearing screams. I do not want to see fears. I do not want to witness desperate looks. I do not want to observe unhappy creatures. I do not want to hold them against their will. I do not want to guard them. They are not my prisoners. Why doesn't somebody ask me if I want this? If I can stand this? I am so lonely. I cannot talk to anyone. I want to change my life. I want to do something else. I want to be something else. I do not want to be a door. Yet, I do want to be a door. A transparent door. A door to a beautiful garden. A door to heaven. A door to light. A door that cannot be locked. A door that does not separate. A door that does not frighten. A door that protects against danger. A cheerful door.
Eine einsame Tür. Die Tür fühlt sich einsam. Sie weiß nicht, wie sie sich vergnügen soll, wie sie ein anderes Leben haben kann. Sie hat Angst, dass sie wieder und wieder fest zugeschlagen wird. Warum muss ich die Wut den anderen dulden? Warum bin ich dafür zuständig, die Dinge und die Menschen zu trennen? Sie in Gefangenschaft zu halten. Ich mag meine Rolle nicht. Ich mag nicht immer wieder Schreie hören. Ich will nicht Ängste sehen. Ich will nicht verzweifelte Blicke erleben. Ich will nicht unglückliche Wesen beobachten. Ich will sie nicht gegen ihren Wunsch festhalten. Ich will sie nicht bewachen. Sie sind nicht meine Gefangenen. Warum fragt mich niemand, ob ich es will, ob ich es aushalte? Ich bin so einsam. Ich kann mit niemandem sprechen. Ich will mein Leben ändern. Ich will etwas anders tun. Ich will etwas anders sein. Ich will keine Tür sein. Doch, ich würde gerne eine Tür sein. Eine durchsichtige Tür. Eine Tür zu einem schönen Garten. Eine Tür zum Himmel. Eine Tür zum Licht. Eine Tür, die nicht zugesperrt werden kann. Eine Tür, die nicht trennen muss. Eine Tür, die keine Angst macht. Eine Tür, die vor Gefahr schützt. Eine fröhliche Tür.
My name. What is your name? My name is Foreigner. What kind of name is that? It's an easy name. In which language? In English. But I don't recognize that as a name. Oh, yes, it's a modern name. Like alien, migrant, immigrant, stranger, Muslim, or the other one. My name is Foreigner. Do you like it?
I like it. Mein Name. Wie ist dein Name? Mein Name ist Fremde. Was ist das für ein Name? Das ist ein einfacher Name. In welcher Sprache? In Deutsch. Aber ich kenne das als Name nicht. Doch, das ist ein moderner Name. So wie Ausländer, Migrant, Zuwanderer, Jewish, Muslima, die andere. Mein Name ist Fremde. Gefällt es dir? نام من نامت چیست؟ نام من بیگانه. این چه نامی است؟ یک نام ساده. به چه زبانی؟ آلمانی. ولی من این را به عنوان نام نمی‌شناسم. چرا؟ یک نام جدید است. مانند خارجی، مهاجر، غربتی، مسلمان، دیگران. نام من بیگانه. میپسندی؟ Dankeschön. Vielen Dank.
Thank you very much. I think we have some music if I'm my own desk organization. Thank you very much. I just wanted to mention something I hadn't said before because I think it's important. It's the instrument you're playing, which probably some people were asking what it is. It's called hore, and it's a modern mixture of Persian percussions instrument and the ancient vocal technique of hore, which is one of the oldest shapes of music in Iran. Hamid-Reza, please.
Thank you.
Alle zusammen. Auf Deutsch ist
Thank you very much, Hamid-Reza. I think we now can go directly to a discotheque and continue this evening there. But before that, I would like to thank you all for participating here and for this quite interesting mixture of different writings and poems and music. Is there anybody in the public who would like to ask a question to one of the people sitting here on the panel? Not everybody at the same time.
Can I ask you why there are no poets from Russia here?
From Russia?
Yeah, because it's a very natural subject for Russian people.
That's true. I think it's a very good question. We didn't want to have all the nations here, but I'm sure the next panel will be including a lot of Russians there. Thank you for
Let me
the...
just explain. So, these artists are coming all from neutral and non-aligned states, so they have to define Russia as a neutral before and continue back.
Okay, I think it's a first step. We will continue.
All right.
Definitely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the artists. If there are no further questions, I thank you for this very interesting and creative afternoon, for participating here. And thanks once again to the artists here on the panel. Mr. Winkler, thank you. You have left us here, but thank you nevertheless. Thank you very much.
Good evening.